Okay, welcome everyone to today's tutorial. So today we'll be making a 6-in-1 box for 3 ml bottle. That's this size of bottle. This is 3 ml bottle, a box that will fit 6 of this at a go. So now what we need to do is to measure the height, the width and the depth of our bottle. But first thing first is the height and the width. Let's leave the depth out. Well, the thing you can't really leave the depth out because the depth is the same thing as the width, because it's a round bottle, so it is the same thing as the width. The width and the depth, they are the same thing. So to get the height, this is exactly 2 inches, but we will add 1 inch to this measurement to have 2 1/8. So we need, so the first thing that we need to cut out, it's a demarcated box that we are making, 6-in-1 box with demarcation, so like this, each bottle will have its own space that it will sit in. So what we are going to do is to get our strip that measures 2 1/8 as long as possible that you need to get. So let me bring some pieces in. Okay, so these are the pieces that I'm going to be using to make that skirt. I will not finish them. These are pieces that I have left from previous work, so don't throw them away because they are useful unless it is too tiny. So now, as I said, we need 2 1/8 of an inch. To place it like this, I made 2 1/8 of an inch. This is too short. The longest part should come this way. So this is 2 1/8. But if you are not going to, this is the mark here at 2 1/8, but you're not going to score all the way down. What we need to do, you will have to cut a piece of cardstock, like a small piece, fold into 2 of the exact cardstock they are using, fold into 2 and then line it up here. I'm not going to be cutting, I'll just use this. These are 2 pieces. Just line it up like this to get this thickness. We need to remove this thickness out of the 2 1/8 of an inch. So you just hold it to the edge of your board, line this up to the top like this and the side. Now can slip this out. You can, I don't know if you can see, there's small space here. That is what we need to get out. So now see this point I marked 2 1/8, it has shifted inside a little. It's no longer on the mark. So now you hold this down properly and then score your 2 1/8 of an inch. This would definitely not be enough for my 6 dots, so I need to score more. Now in case you're unable to get that, no problem, this is another way to go about it. I bring in another piece. Okay, let me use this smaller one. Line it up, score at your 2 1/8. Okay, now 2 1/8 plus 2 1/8, that's 4 2/8, but this is not up to 4 2/8, so this piece will not help us. We are not going to make use of this piece, so I'll cut this off. Now, even though we have this like this and this like this already, it still won't be enough for the 6 slots. So I'll bring in my another piece and then score at 2 1/8. Hopefully this one will do. Now at this point, let me cut out my strip. That I just scored. Now remember this one, I lined it up completely with the board, so I will turn it over rather, and then cut from, I will cut not on the score line but beside the score line, as if I'm trying to remove the score line. That way you are removing a tiny piece from the 2 1/8. Now this strip is not exactly 2 1/8 anymore. I will still turn it. I'm seeing a score line here, the half part of a score line. I'm going to remove it. Now this is no longer up to 2 and 1/8, but it is bigger than 2 inches. Can you see? I don't know if you can see properly. Okay. Can you see it? It's not to 2 in. It's bigger than 2 inches, but it's not to 2 and 1/8 of an inch. That is the exact size that we need. So this is strip number 1 cut out already. Now remember this one, we moved it a little, so we are going to turn this over as we did the first one and still remove the score line with that small piece. We don't need this piece. You can joyfully throw this away. Now there is a little score line showing here, but we're not going to remove it because we have already removed a piece from it when we moved it. Now line this up. You can see it's exactly the same size. Okay, well, not really exactly, it's still a little coming out, so we can just remove a little part of that score line, just a little. Line your ruler up. Yes, that's small. Now you can line this up and it's perfect. So now let's remember, when I scored this, I said we don't need this part, so we're going to remove this part. And remember, we also removed a little piece from this side, so we are going to remove this score line. We're not removing anything from this side. This one is too small, we can't make use of it. Okay, so this is it. Now see this score line here. I'm going to cut it out because it's we don't need it. If not, it will spoil our work. We need to get a clean work, so just cut it out. Okay, now these are 3 strips that we have. If you don't have small pieces, you can use your big cardstock and cut out a long strip of 2 and 1/8. The height, we are not bothered about how long the strip should be right now. It's just the width that we are bothered about now. So now bring in our board. These are the 3 strips we cut out. Now we know we cut it out like this. Now we're going to turn it like this. The width of the bottle, remember, is 6 inches. Now we're going to score 6 inches all the way to the end of the piece, like this. 6 inches, 6 inches. 6 inches plus 6 inches is 1.5, plus another 6 inches is 2 and 2/8, plus another 6 inches is 3 inches, then 3 and 6/8, then 4. It's exactly 5 and 2/8. So this is complete. To set this aside, bring in the next one, line it up and repeat the same thing. This one is longer than this one. Yes, the thing is, right now we just want to get as much strips as possible. Now this smaller one we don't need, we're going to cut it off. Let's just continue with this one. So we'll do all the cuttings at once. One, 2, 3, exactly 8 and 2/8 of an inch. Okay, now we can set our board aside, and now we can remove this piece here. You don't have to remove the score line with it, no need. Just move from the center. Okay, so I like to start from the smallest, that's the shortest piece. We have 3 pieces here. So the first thing you do is, this is the outside, this is the inside. Sorry, normally I said you should score on the inside, right? But for the the demarcation, this is the demarcation that we are making now, you have to fold from the outside. I was supposed to score on the outside, yes, not the inside. So please pardon me for that. So now what I'm going to do is start folding and bend and getting the slot that we need. This is slot number 1 that will enter. This is where the first bottle will lie. Now we need to get a demarcation. Fold this over and then bring this down to meet this. Now we have double like this. Okay, this is slot number 1. Now this lying down flat is slot number 2. Now we need to fold this. This is 1, 2, then repeat the same thing and then fold this down. This is 3 slots. 1, 2, 3. This is 3 slots already, but we need 6 and we don't want the joining to show, right? So what I'm going to do now is that I'll bring in this second piece and then glue it on top of it, not under it. You can glue it under it as long as this one is lying flat, so the joining part will not really show. So just line this up. I like to line my next piece on top of the other depending on where it ends anyway. So I will bring my double-sided tape and join it. Now to join it, I'm going to put my double-sided tape at the back of this one like this, at the center like that, and then bring in my scissors and cut out this extra piece. And then of course you have to crease to remove any bubble that is trapped under there. Press very well and then peel off the backing tape. Now you can you should, for a stronger hold, although you can just glue it like that, but after some time to start lifting, so we don't want that. So just apply a little PVC glue on the spaces up on top and below the double-sided tape like that. You can use your hand to spread it, but I don't like touching glue like that. So now just line this up to the score line where this folded. Let it be as straight as possible and then you crease. Press properly. Okay, so now we are going to now start folding. So let's start all over again. Now we have a longer piece, right? So now let's start again. 1, 2, 3, raise, fold, fold, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, raise, fold, 5, raise. We need a 6th one. So now we're going to bring this in. How do we now join this? We are not going to join it like this. If we join it like this, this is standing. You see that these two pieces are joined together. We don't want that. So what we'll do is I will join this down like this. I'll join like this. So I'll put my double-sided tape just as I did the other time. Cut out the excess piece. Crease properly. Remove the backing tape. Apply your glue. and then line it up with this score line. Okay, and then crease properly. Okay, the glue oozed out a little, so just clean that off. Okay, so now we have a longer piece again, right? So now let us now start all over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, raise, fold, fold, 6. Now we'll cut this off. We don't need this. That is 6 in one box that we are making, so we don't need this. You can keep it for future use. So this is the 6 slots. Now the next thing that we have to do is these ones that are these mountains here, like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains that we have, we need to glue them together so they will stand as one piece, like that. So it will stand as one piece like that, so we're able to get the exact length of box that we need to make. So in order to do that, you fold this over. This is the outside, this is where we'll be showing, this is where the bottle will be lying, like this. You can see, right? And then another bottle will be here, like this. You see, right? Okay, so now we'll turn this over like this. This is the mountain, so we'll apply our tape on. After this first one, the second one, we'll apply our double-sided tape or whatever glue that you are using. If you want to use liquid glue all through, no problem, like that. And then you count after this one, the third one away from this, 1, 2, 3, you apply your tape. Okay, I need to get more tape. I'll be back. Okay, so just continue place it like that. Yes, it's wider, it doesn't matter, it should be covered. Now after this, you count the next 3 is this spaces, 1, 2, 3. The third one, you apply your glue, your tape, anything you are using. Then again, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is all. Now the next thing you do is to crease properly, removing any bubble that may be trapped under the tapes, and then remove the backing tapes. You can do this one after the other, but as you all know, I like to remove the backing tapes all at once. For me, it saves time, especially when I'm making a large quantity. So I will bring my glue and apply very little in between those beside the tapes. As you can see, I'm not getting to the ends because by the time I press them, it will smear and spread, so I don't have glue oozing out. That's why I apply it like that. So now what we do is to hold this first one and then line, this is where the glue is, light on top of this like that. Then bring your bone folder and crease properly. gluing it down properly. Now we'll hold this, raise this. This is where the glue is. Let it lie on top of this one. So this space is empty. And then crease. You can see the glue oozed out. Crease. And then repeat the same thing. Bring where the tape is on top of this one. Top of the one right beside it. Now this is the next one. Put it beside, as on top of the one beside it. You can see the glue is still oozing out, even though it's very little that I applied. Okay, now the last one. Bring this on top of this, like this way, like that. Okay, so that is it. This is it. You can see, right? This is how it is done. So now the next thing I'll do is to stand it like this, and then fold them over like that, holding it down, holding all them down, turn it over to the back, and then crease on the foldings, raise it back up, and then let them face the other way. This way you are reinforcing them and making them stronger and more flexible. The other way, fold over and then crease the foldings. Okay, so now this is the demarcation for 6 slots. For 6 slots of the box we are making. Now this is the length. This is the length of the box that we need to make. Okay, so now let's check it. Let's know what this length will give us. You can't assume that it will be this is 1 2 3 4 4 5 4.5, right? Let's see if it goes 1.5. Lining it up, it is slightly more than 4.5. It is slightly more than 4.5, so we'll round it up to 4 5/8 to the next figure, 4 5/8. So we will write that down. 4 5/8. Okay, now the side, of course, it's not up to 2 1/8, and it's more than 2 inches, so we will make it 2 1/8. Round it up to 2 1/8. 2 1/8. Now this is going to sit inside a box that is folded inside so that the edge will be smooth. You don't want to have a raw edge box like this. You want it smooth, just the way this one is smooth like this. It doesn't have, it's not showing the raw edge. So what we're going to fold it in. So now it is now that I'm not going to calculate the depth, which is also the same thing as the width, as I said, which is 6 4/8. So now 6 4/8 multiplied by 4. The reason we're multiplying by 4 is that one will go in and then out. So we have double, like this double. This plus this is double. So we need to have that double here and another double on this side. So that's why we're multiplying it by 4. 2 here, 2 here. 2 plus 2, 4. So 3 times 3 and 6/8 of an inch times 4 will give us 3 inches. So now we are going to add that 3 inches to this full length and this one. This is it here. 4 5/8 plus 3. 2 1/8 plus 3. That will give us 4 plus 3. That's 7 5/8. 2 plus 3, that is 5 1/8. So the the size of cardstock we need to cut for the base of our box is 7 5/8 by 5 1/8. Let's go ahead and do that. This, sorry, so make okay, this one is just enough. Okay, so this is just enough for it. 7 5/8. 7 and 1 2 3 4 5 by 5 1/8. Turn it. 5 1/8. Now we'll cut this off and cut this off. We don't need it. You don't need to remove the score line with it. No, just cut it off from the center of the score line. So we don't need these pieces. Okay, so this is the size of cardstock that we need for the base, which is 7 5/8 by 5 1/8. Now remember our depth, we measured, we multiplied it by 4, right? So we'll line this up to our board and then score our depth. We'll score the depth, that is 2 on this side, 2 on this side, 2 here, 2 here. So that's 6 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 8. Okay, if you go ahead and square it on this side, you may not get it. There is that always a little human error. So to avoid that, just turn and then score. Turn and score. The same 6 8 plus another 6 8, that's 1 1/2. Turn and score. 6 8 6 8. That is all for the scoring for the base. Now it's time to cut out the pieces. So I'm going to cut. I scored on the inside because this is the outside. This is where it's going to show. So it's only when you are doing the demarcation, that's when you score on the outside, because that's where you need to do the folding and all to make it easy. But then we still made use of it. This is embossed card. As I said, it's too soft to make all these kind of boxes, but it will still do. So now we are going to remove this, 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 and this. That is what we are removing. I don't know, I hope you can see what I marked. These 3 outer parts, 1 2 3 of the 4 corners. There are 4 boxes. We are removing the 3 outer ones. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. But the way I like to remove them, I like to just do everything at once, removing the score lines when necessary. So for this, to remove this one, I'm going to remove the score line away from this long piece. Align my ruler up on the score line and I'm cutting on top of this line down, just slightly on top, like directly on top of it down, and then do the same thing, cutting on top of this score line all the way. But this time around, the first one is on top of this score line, the second one is below this score line all the way down, and then turn it. This is what we are still working on. I will now cut this with the score line from the top of this one all the way down. We have removed 2 already. Okay, and then cut from below this score line on top of this score line all the way down. This is out. Now see the score line still joined there. Now we are going to remove this score line. I cut from the lower part of this score line. Now I will turn and then remove the attached part of the score line from below the score line. You can see what we have now. So I will repeat the same. Let me do another one, then I'll do remaining two off camera to save time. It's already taking longer than I expected. Like that, and then turn. Like that. So we are having like a clockwise direction of our flaps. So now let me remain it to off camera and I'll get back to you. Alright, so here it is, all done. So now the next thing that we are going to do is to apply our double-sided tape on the four flaps. You can see it's going in clockwise direction. So we need to apply double-sided tape. This is the outside, this is the inside. They apply double-sided tape on the outer part of these four flaps, the four small ones. This is how I like to do mine. Okay, I still have a small piece here. Like that. I lined it with it's under the score line. Okay, I see a little space here. I need to cover it under the score line and then cut out the excess. Make sure if you are cutting like this, try not to cut your cardstock, and then turn and repeat the same thing. So I will do the remaining two off camera and I'll get back to you at that point. Okay, alright, so here it is, all done for the outer part. Now for the inside, I will apply on close to the score line on the longer parts. This one, this, and this, like this, close to the score line, and then cut out the excess and then place here. Let me bring in another double-sided tape. Okay, so let's continue. Apply and then trim off the excess. Apply, trim off the excess. And then do the same thing here. We need more, so I'm bringing in more double-sided tape. Now this is not all. Since remember that this is the base, we are going to be fixing this inside like this. You can see the way it's fitted properly. You can see. Now we need to apply double-sided tape on this side and on this. That's the long part. So I'll apply like this close to the score line. But this time I'll use my scissors to cut off the excess. And then repeat the same thing here. I need another double-sided tape. Okay, so line it up like this, and then use scissors to cut off the excess. And then you bring in your bone folder and crease properly on all the double-sided tape. Now you can now fold your box. Turn it and fold inward like that, okay, and crease, fold, and then this small flap on all the score lines. Now you have to crease, let it be as flat as possible when you are creasing. I hope you can hear me clearly. I hope I'm not whispering. Oh, hey God. Okay, so all right, so that's all. Now, as usual, I'll remove the backing tape from, you know how to do that already, so I'm not sure I should show you this. That's, so I'll do that off camera. I'm removing all the backing tapes from here and the inside, so I'll get back to you at that point. Okay, so that is it, all done, the outside and the inside. So I'll bring in my double-sided tape, my liquid glue rather, sorry, and then starting, I'm now trying to assemble the box. So I will apply just little on the space that the double-sided tape did not cover. Fold this in like this, then raise this like that, and then bring this, let this edge meet this edge like that, and press down. So that's just, then I'll do one more time, then do the remaining off camera. Oh no, it doesn't really take time, so like that. Now, in case where the cardstock is very thick, you have to be careful with this last part. Okay, so now I'll apply my my liquid glue at that edge where there is no tip. Fold it in using my bone folder, crease the edge again, and then pay attention to the inside part, but make sure you don't apply too much pressure so you don't tear your paper. That's it. This is not paper, it's actually card. It's called card, not paper. Then fold like that and crease. That is it, and then crease. Now we have this double-sided tape left, so what I'm going to do now is to apply my liquid glue and then bring in our demarcation. I will start with this part. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let me count again. 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So now I'm going to glue this down first, line it to the edge like that. Hold it, don't let the rest lie down just yet. Hold it and then press down, crease properly, and then you do the last one. Try to make sure that these other ones don't lie down, although they will, but you're not applying, you're not creasing, you're not holding them down properly. So now do this and then crease. Now if you look inside very well, you can see it fits properly inside, and if we do not remove that tiny space, it should have not entered properly, it would have been folding on the sides. So now we prevented that. That's why we removed that tiny part at the beginning part when we were cutting the strip. So now you hold, this one is down already, you hold this, make sure it is very close, there's no space under here. Repeat the same thing for this one, making sure it's properly lined. Repeat the same thing for this, sure it's properly lined. Same thing for this. This is the last one because this is already down. Now you can now crease again. So this is our 6-slot box. Now for the cover, I'm going to determine that how should the cover be. If you want the cover to cover it completely to the base, you can do that, but me, I like to make my cover to get to 3/4 part of the base. That's, the height is 6'8", of an inch. So I will make my lead to be half an inch, which is 1/3 height of the base. So now, since the height of my lead is 4.5, what am I saying? It's 1.5. That's 4/8 of an inch. I will now multiply that 4/8 of an inch by 4. Remember, this one was 6/8 of an inch by 4. Now it is 4/8 of an inch by 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 inches. Let's bring in this our measurement book. This is 3 inches. This is 6/8 of an inch multiplied by 4 is 3 inches. Now we are going to add the same 4 and 5/8 from here to here, and from here to here. 2 and 1/8 plus 2 inches, which is the half an inch multiplied by 4 is 2 inches. So the size of cardstock that we need for the lid will be 4 plus 2, that is 6 and 5/8. 2 plus 2, 4 and 1/8. So let me cut that out. This is one piece I have here. Like, this is not up to 4 and 1/8, neither is it up to 6 and 5/8, so we cannot use this. Now this has lines drawn on it, scored on it already. Looking at this biggest part, it's not up to 4 and 1/8, so we cannot use it. So I'll bring in this. Obviously we should get what we need from here. So from here I will score at 4 and 1/8 and cut it out. In the middle of the score line that I made. Now I don't need this piece anymore. Okay, so this is 4 and 1/8 of an inch, right? Now we need 6 and 5/8. Turn it, score at 6 and 5/8, and then cut it out. Now we need a piece that, remember this, sorry, water touched it just now. We need 2 pieces of this, so I'm going to cut this out. This is going to be our spacer, and then apply double-sided tape on one side of it. You don't need this crease. Remove the backing tape. This is your spacer. You don't need to apply glue, no need, just fold it over and crease properly. Now this is the thickness of your box. This and this is the same thickness. Okay, so now we need to remove this when we are scoring the lid on all the 4 sides. This is going to be on all the 4 sides, because this thickness is what it's the same thing with this, so that the lid will not be this thickness wider than the base. So line this up to the edge, and then this line it to the top like that, and then bring this to it. So this is like the beginning of your measurement. Remember, I'm scoring from the inside of the cardstock. Line it up like this and straight like this, and this one slides out easily. Holding it down, don't push it in, score at, remember I said the depth of my lid is 4/8 of an inch, so I'll score at 4/8 of an inch, and I multiplied it by 4, right? And another 4/8 of an inch will give me 1 inches. Turn and repeat the same thing. Four eight. Turn, repeat the same thing. 4/8, 4/8, turn, repeat the same thing. That is it. That is all for the scoring. So this is your spacer. So now just the way I cut this, the same way I'm going to cut this. Let me do the first. I'll do only one so you remember what I'm talking about. From the top of the score line beside it, and then this one, then turn from the top beside, removing that from the bottom part, and then the score line. You remember now, right? So I will do the remaining 3 off camera to save time. Alright, so that is it, all done. Oops, I've not removed this. Okay. Alright, so this is it. So just as we did this, repeat the same thing. Apply my double-sided tape here on these 4 flaps going clockwise. You can do your own flaps anyhow you like. And then the inside parts here, here, and here. We are not putting inside here because we are not gluing anything here. So I'll do that off camera and I'll get back to you at that point. Alright, so here it is, all done. The outer part, the inside part. Now if you notice the tape is coming out, it's not a problem, as I always do. Okay, I've not folded. Let me just do it. I'll get back to you. Okay, alright, so I will remove the backing tape. Now for the flaps, no need of what I wanted to show you because it will be covered up. Okay, it's not going to show. So now for these ones, this one, you can see the tape, it's coming out. So what I'll do is just to use my finger to turn it over onto the tape so it doesn't come out. If not, if you just do it like that, when you close it, it will be grabbing onto the side of this box and then to start tearing it and making it look bad. So let me do another one again. You can see the tape coming out. So I'll just use my finger to fold it over like that. So I'll do the remaining 2 off camera and I'll get back to you. Alright, so that is it, all done. So now for this one we don't need our glue because there is no space anywhere to apply glue. The double-sided tape covered everywhere, so we are good to go. So now just fold this in, do the same thing. It's just to assemble it just the way we did the base, and then fold this over and crease. Make sure that you crease the corners as well, but be careful not to tear them, not to tear the corners, not to puncture the corners when you are creasing. And the same thing. And finally crease, and our box is ready. So just cover this. You can see it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. You can see the height of the lid, so it gives it this beautiful design, this beautiful look. So that is it for today. See you in the next class.